slow it down, everybody. Like, life is long. Like, of course have fun. Like, when I talk about like, this, I've for a long time talked about like, don't buy all this stuff. And most of the people in these circles are mad at me. I'm not saying don't buy a Lambo.
Sure.
I'm saying
don't buy four.
And by the way, even that's fine. Do you know why you're buying it?
Yeah.
Like, if you like have loved cars your whole life, read car magazines, like I go into a car, there's no enjoyment. There's no, like, I don't, like all my friends who like, I know genuinely like it, like I don't understand like the speed you don't get, like I don't like that. And so for me, that's not right. If that's right for you, then that's amazing. But most people buy logos to flex, to close gaps of insecurity. And so that's what worries me. Because if you're just into a little money and you decide to buy a Rolex because actually you're insecure and you're not confident, you need that flex to rub elbows with me or to hit on that girl, then you've got other work that you need to do. And that money is not gonna be well spent. It's gonna be a short-term high, and then you're gonna be in like a weird place. And so money's it's an exposure of your truth. So anyway, back to investing, to stay on track, shit you understand. I'm self-aware of what I'm trying to accomplish, which is I'm trying to maximize joy, not maximize money making. So you have to know who you are. So for me, I know that yes, I have these lofty goals of buying the jets, but I feel like I'm gonna do that through operating. VeeFriends and VaynerX give me that chance. And I get joy. I wouldn't say it's gambling, but it's definitely in between gambling and investing the right way that I like, because it makes me happy. And, like I get joy, Facebook and Twitter, like these investments, I mean, it's gonna take me a while to lose enough money to offset how big those wins were.
Sure.
But then you have to know yourself. For example, here's a weird one, like T-bills. Like if you don't know, like, do you know that most of the fucking people who are listening should just get 5.5%, 6% of their money? Yeah, great. Like that didn't exist 3-4 years ago. Shit's changed, money's expensive now, so interest rates are up. So a lot of people who are all day long, people are like, Garyvee, I just got into money my first time, I got 200K, what do I do? I'm like, well, if you don't know what to do, invest in T-bills and get your 5 points on your money instead of letting it sit in a bank with no risk.
Right.
If you do know what you're doing, I think certain stocks that kick dividends are interesting, like a Pepsi. It's not going away tomorrow, and they're kicking, and that's kicking dividends. And then real estate's great. Like I think if you like it, my dad loved it. That's where almost all his investing went into. Almost none of mine has. I'm bored by it. Like I understand I bought a building and people are paying rent, but I'm like, I don't know, like I don't like it, even though it's great. And like, by the way, most of the last generation's billionaires came from real estate because all the tax laws written so positive. Real estate's great if you get off on that. And then there's alternative shit. Like, what I will say for sure, and this is what my number one belief is that it's the cross section of something you like and something you understand. I hate when people invest in shit they don't understand because someone smart told them. Please, my friends, do not invest in shit you do not understand. Which is why I like people though I don't do it, I love people buying stocks of their favorite companies.
Yes.
If you're about Starbucks and like you do a little reading and you're like, they seem normal, like the CEO, everything's chill, like that's a good investment. Yeah. Buy some Starbucks shares. Like, the stock market's a good bet. Like the stock market will work as long as America's around. So that's a very good bet. So I think it's a game of enjoying it and a game of understanding it. I think that's what people should focus on.
Part of my speech I say, raise your hand if you think Apple will be here in 5 years. What about Netflix? How about Facebook? Walmart? Okay, raise your hands again if you shop at Walmart. Do you buy Netflix? Do you buy Apple?
Do you have Facebook?
Okay. If you believe in them that much, you'll spend $1,500 on an iPhone. Why don't you buy $1,500 of stock?
That's right.
Right? Buy $500 of Walmart. You like Walmart? Buy $500.
Yep.
You don't have to go put in your life savings. Go buy a little bit of these things over the course of your life.
What people don't understand is how advantageous it is to invest too, because they don't know rules. I didn't know them. I didn't know that if you lost an investment, you can write that off against an investment you made money on and play the arbitrage there. So, like, we were not educated on money well, which is why I'm glad. Yeah, I get it. And so look, ChatGPT and Google, and YouTube, learn, the demo that I feel is listening to this right now just moves too fast.
Right.
When they first hit money, either in buying something, it's okay to reward yourself. Listen, I grew up with only kids that had nothing. I grew up in very lower middle class environments. So I get when you finally do something, you go to buy a crazy car or and watch. And listen, let's call a spade a spade. 90% of the time, dudes do that to get girls. Like I get the human psychology of it all. I would just say, slow down a second, because if you've got 200,000, if you slow down a second, just slow down, you're more likely to have 2 million. Because if you go fast, you're back to zero.
Right.
And we all know that. Every one of us in this motorhome know people that got into some money and went to zero, straight zero. ChatGPT, everyone. You know, Google changed the world. ChatGPT, you can ask that bot very, very specific questions. Hey, I'm a plumber. Yep. I make $39,000 a year. I get to save $1,000 a year. What should I do? Enter. You would be blown away what AI can do. You can be very specific. You can't do that on Google. Hey, I have $18,000 in debt from this credit card company. I'm paying 7.3. Start using AI for your advantage, not something you heard about or demonize or don't understand. Don't understand is unacceptable.
Right.
I don't get it. Okay, Google it. YouTube it if you're like me and can't read for shit. And listen, so, you know, for a lot of people wanting to learn about money, could you imagine having real info? Could you imagine sitting down with somebody that knew most things?
That's awesome.
Isn't that a cool way to think about it? Hey, imagine sitting down with fucking Yoda. Instagram's tougher now, supply and demand. It's not like it was when we were kicking it in 2014, you know? There's more, and a lot of the demand went to TikTok and YouTube Shorts, but the supply is super up. Yesterday, more people posted on Instagram than ever before. So it gets harder. So you're looking for what I call strategic organic content. What's the organic content move? Meaning, of course there's ads, but what's the respectful, proper, back to getting buff, right? There's steroids. And there's putting in the work and eating protein in those ratios. And listen, I'm not interested in, I know the snake's just all over the fucking place. And yeah, I was pumped that you caught me at a good time, because it was a revelation for me only 30 days earlier. We're constantly testing. What I think I do well, that I want more people to do well, is I have the humility for it to bomb. I don't fear somebody coming to Garyvee's page and seeing 80,000 views, you got 14, you suck. Right. I'm okay, you suck too. What are we talking about? I don't know.
See you tomorrow.
Right, so we take a lot of creative risks. Most people can't get out of posting the same shit over and over because they need the same results, even though it's declining. Mm-hmm. So we find shit, and the one we found on this one was, instead of just posting the video, which everybody's been doing for a while now, first post an image that kind of previews what the video is going to be as a video. And so it's a 2-post carousel, image first, video second. And I'm so happy you're seeing results. And the reason I'm saying it out loud here is, and you know this about me, Dan, I'm weird when it comes to someone who hacks. I go from finding it to immediately telling everyone. Right. All my best buds are yo, can't you just sit on this for a month? Don't you? And I'm nobody's taking from me. Right. I'm gonna get mine regardless. And I like that people, it feels nice. It feels nice to be admired when you're helping. Right. Going to your last part, charity, it feels nice. You know, when you don't have anything and then you get money, you really especially in the beginning, you're yo, I'm not sure I can give this away. Right. I remember being young and hearing Bill Gates and all those guys were giving away 99%. I was yo, that shit's crazy. Now I understand. Yeah. Especially with kids. You don't want to leave, leaving kids, those characters, leaving kids billions of dollars, it's actually gonna make them unhappy. So,
that's actually my next question.
Yeah, before we go into charity, the biggest charity is intellectual generosity. And I know I'm very good at my craft, and I know I'm at the top of the game, and I'm proud. I watch people far less capable than me hold everything to themselves, scarcity mindset, wanting to pass you or me or you in followers, and that's their fucking, right. I don't see it that way. I looked at someone's account today who I was whoa, and I was pumped that they're I don't know, I don't know how to boo